Hi there. Got a fantastic program for you. It is Wednesday, August 20th, and Erin is approaching. It's 36 hours away from off the coast of North Carolina. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The main thing we're going to talk about today, no fishing report. And to be quite honest with you, if there was a fishing report, I don't know if I'd give it to you right now, because I don't want you going out there and drowning and dying or nothing like that with a storm approaching. But we are going to talk about flounder. We're going to talk about, it was a great email I got from a gentleman. Oh Lord, it's either Don or David. Man, I forgot his name and I apologize. But he said, asked or showed what states are doing to restrict flounder fishing. Some states are completely different than they are managing things, and we're going to get into that into detail. We're going to go from Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, down to Florida, and talk about how they manage their flounders, and boy, is it different than here in North Kakalaki. Now, I want to get into Erin, though. This is one thing I want to make a comment about, that what makes it North Carolina unique, the forward movement of Hurricane of Erin will affect various places along North Carolina differently. As Erin approaches North Carolina, it will push water up unto us, the entire state, creating ground swells, big waves, storm surge, and coastal floodings. We know all this, but when Erin is passing by, with Erin passing by offshore of North Carolina, and due to the storm's counterclockwise rotation, this will cause the dominant winds from Erin to come primarily out of the north and northeast. And this will affect coastal North Carolina in two very different ways. For example, out there in the Outer Banks, it's primarily a north beach. It's like a backwards L shape. And as the storm approaches the Outer Banks, as it's coming up to it, it's going to push those waters on up to it, but the northerly winds will first impact the oceanside beaches, causing problems like storm surge and flooding. But as the storm passes on by the Outer Banks, Hatteras, Ocracoke, the northerly winds will cause soundside flooding. So at first, as it's approaching, it's going to push water up into North Carolina, into the Outer Banks. But as it's going on by, the rotation, the counterclock rotation, is now going to bring the water up from the sound. So the Outer Banks is going to get whacked from two sides, the ocean side and the sound side. And it's not just there. The Crystal Coast, Cape Lookout, Beaufort Inlet, Bogue Inlet area will have winds blowing over the land when it's coming out of the north and not from the water. So it's not going to be pushing water up per se. Unfortunately, this means, since it is a northerly wind, the backside of Bogue Banks, where Emerald Isle, Pine Knoll Shores, and Atlantic Beach are located, will be facing the winds and have Bogue Sound waters pushed up onto them. Now, as I'm doing this, the forecast for winds in the Carteret County, Crystal Coast area is anywhere from 35 to up to 50 miles an hour, depending if you're on the east side of Carteret County or on the west side down east. So we're not anticipating a hurricane force winds, but in north-facing beaches will have water pushed up onto them. For example, such as in the north part of Carteret and Craven County up there on the Neuse River, they'll have the Neuse River blown onto them. So the flooding potential is greatest there, and the potential is greatest on the backside of Bogue Banks with a northerly wind. South-facing beaches can have waters blown away from them. I used to live on the mouth of Gales Creek during Hurricane Fran, and it literally blew water away from me. There was another storm when I had a place on Goose Creek. Same thing. It literally blew water away from me. So it all depends on where you are, will determine if you're north-facing or south-facing with this particular storm, if waters are going to be blown up on you or blown away from you. But this is asides to the storm pushing the ocean waters up onto the entire state of North Carolina. All right, enough of that. I highly encourage you to tune in to the National Hurricane Center for your source of information. Again, when I'm doing this on Wednesday, August 20th, we're 36 hours away from Erin, and pardon the noise you're about to hear, having some lawn maintenance done. So just be aware and tune into the National Hurricane Center above all other places. Now, Flounder got this email, and again, I am just named down from this gentleman. He says, these photos, he sent me these photos, and I've shown it to you right now, are screenshots from the Fisheries app on. As an avid fisherman, I thought you might like to see what other states are doing to restrict flounder fishing. From your viewpoint, are we managing well or just allowing the guys to take all the quota? Looking forward to some changes in fishing quota. P.S. I did not get permission to compose these. That's his name. He sent that on his iPhone. Now, just as a reminder, as I am doing this, August 20th and 21st, I believe it is, the Marine Fisheries Commission is meeting in Raleigh, and one of the subject matters that is being brought up is in regards to flounder. As it stands right now, the split is in between, is 60% commercial, 40% recreational, 70-30, and during this commission meeting, they change that so it's 50-50 commercial allocation and 50% recreational this year, or right now, as opposed to waiting till next year. So if that does happen, the allocation will be evenly split 50-50. And hopefully, as all of you know, come September 1st, the flounder season will open up. September 1 through September 14th, the flounder season opens up. We will be allowed 1 flounder per day at 15 inches. Now, we got all of that out of the way just to come to this. In the other states, what are their size and creel limits? Let's take a look at Virginia. In Virginia, the flounder minimum size is 16 inches from January to May and 17.5 inches from June to December. The limit is 4 per person per day. That's Virginia. Skipping us, going down to South Carolina, it's 5 per person per day, not to exceed 10 per boat per day. It's a 6. Now, Georgia, boy howdy. Georgia, the season's all year. There is no open or closed season. It's all year. The limit is 15 per person per day, and the minimum size limit is just 12 inches. Now, scooting on down to Florida, the minimum size is 14 inches total length. The bag limit is 5 per person, and they have a seasonal closure from October 15th through November 30th. Now, this is what I'm asking you guys, and I want to hear from you guys. Why do we have this disparity? Here we got like from 12 inches in Georgia in length is the minimum size, all the way up to 17.5 inches minimum size in Virginia. Why the difference? A closed fishery in North Carolina, but up to 15 flounders per person per day in Georgia. What's the difference? So this is what I want to hear from you about. Now, there are some obvious differences in the environments and the ecosystem. You look at the coast of Georgia, for example, and compare the banks of North Carolina or Virginia, the estuarine system. There's no comparison. So why are they having a small than North Carolina? Other questions like, do the states talk to each other? Division of Marine Fisheries in North Carolina talk to the folks in South Carolina, Virginia, and in Georgia and Florida and go, hey, what the heck are you guys doing? Closed it down and you got it up to over a dozen a day. What's going on? Do they talk with each other? Do flounders migrate from state to state? If so, how much so? Does, for example, now I'm making this up here, would 10% of North Carolina flounders go to South Carolina? 50% of North Carolina flounders go to South Carolina, or the other way around. How much interchange is there in between states? Or are North Carolina flounders just North Carolina flounders and that's it? They're not going anywhere else. And do you think the North Carolina flounder fishery is being managed fair and equitably? Now that gets back to the commercial fishing side. And again, the Marine Fisheries Commission is in Raleigh discussing that very thing right now. 50. Is that why do you think the fisheries is being managed for the commercial fishermen and not the recreational fishermen? I want to hear from you. I want to know your opinion. Please email me, speak English, Bill, rendered lips, BillHitchcock.com, BillHitchcock@mail.com, BillHitchcock@mail.com. You can post on YouTube, but sometimes these things get lost because they get posted in various and different topics, and I don't get to see all of them. If you email me, it comes to me, and you may recall I had a slight problem with email a couple of weeks ago. We fixed it. So if you want to get in contact with me like Donald did with this, email me, Hitchcock.com. I'd love to discuss it on air. So just shoot me an email, let me know, and if there's somebody you want me to interview, talk to, more than happy to do it. Now, that's enough for right now. Erin is on its way. Looks like it's offshore. Hatteras and Ocracoke. Play it safe, be safe, sober, and this. And just when we come back, I will leave you with this, that many times, most of the times, after hurricanes, after storms such as this, and this doesn't look like it's going to be a rain event, it's going to be somewhat of a wind event, if anybody even gets hurricane force winds. But after storms like this, fishing is usually extremely good. So we will make sure that we let you know all about that. All right, enough of me. I'm Bill Hitchcock. Until next time, see ya.